Hi everyone, I just wanted to make a brief video to kind of catch you up on some things that we missed in our last class that we did not have. First of all, I apologize for not being here on Tuesday. I'm having some back issues and it was a pretty painful day, but I'm back and healthy and looking forward to seeing all of you this next Tuesday. I did hear that lots of you are real excited that you didn't have to give your informative speeches on Tuesday, so you have an extra week to prepare, which is good. If you need any help with anything or you're not quite sure you're doing things right, just come by my office. I'm back on campus and I'm happy to meet with you and help you. I do want to show you a little bit about week 3 module, which we're starting. Several of you have had questions, and so that's what's prompted me to make this video. So let's just start by looking at the chapter 13 discussion. So chapter 13 is about persuasion. And this particular discussion is about starting to brainstorm about your persuasive speech. Now, it would be very helpful if you go to assignments and find the persuasive speech assignment. Just read it to get a good idea, but basically it's very similar to the informative speech, except your goal is different. Instead of informing your audience, now you are trying to persuade them. So you'll have a very specific topic that is persuasive in its goal. So what are you supposed to do for this particular discussion? Well, if you look right here, the first thing is to do a well-worded position statement. So let's say, for example, you choose the topic of abortion. I do not want you to say, I'm going to speak about abortion. No, for a persuasive speech, you pick a side of a topic and then you word out your position statement. What is your take on this topic? Where do you stand? And so an example of a position statement would be, abortion should be kept legal, or abortion should be outlawed, or women should have the right to choose to have an abortion, or abortion is murder and people should not be allowed to have abortions. And so either one of those, any one of those, are examples of position statements. You're not only sharing your topic, but at the same time you're sharing your position on the topic. Don't ever ask a question, should we have abortions? No, in a persuasive speech, you say, this is the way I believe things should be. TJC should have better parking, for instance. Everyone should eat a healthy diet. The United States needs to improve its educational system. And so we have a topic and then our position on the topic. No matter what your topic is, have a position. The next thing that you want to consider is this type of audience that you're going to be speaking to. Now, this is kind of pretend. You're going to write your speech for a particular type of audience. Now, in reality, you're going to be giving your speech still to us in the classroom. We're not going to bring in a special audience for you, but let's say that you want to give a speech that about why people should stop texting and driving. What audience would benefit from hearing that particular speech? Well, perhaps young drivers, teenage drivers. That might be a good audience for that kind of speech. What about a speech about how to invest for retirement? What kind of audience would be interested in that kind of topic? That's not really persuasive, but you get my drift. So you may be working professionals, people who are earning money and thinking about retirement. And so just type up, just bullet point who you think would be interested in your type of speech. And then the last thing is you want to create at least 2 specific ways to create audience involvement with your topic. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you have to lead your audience through an exercise or an activity when you give your speech, but it does mean that you need to probably think about how to relate your topic to the audience. And so you could ask rhetorical questions, you could provide some scenarios in which they place themselves. So something like, imagine yourself stuck on the side of the road on a dark night because you just had a flat tire. Every person should know how to change their own tire. And then you go into, the rest of your speech. And so by telling the audience to imagine themselves in a situation, we more likely are relating the topic to them. So think about ways you can relate the topic to your audience. So post on the discussion board. Regular postings are there, and then I'm just going to go to the next page, which is the business communication critique paper. This sounds really hard, but it's really easy, and so I want to go over this with you very briefly as well. So this is a critique. Most people view a critique as a really bad thing, like don't judge me. But in academics, a critique is a good thing. It's an analysis. It's a look over something to really see what's working and what could be improved. You're going to choose a business. It doesn't matter what kind of business. It could be a business you frequent quite a bit. It could be a place that you have worked or that you're currently working. You want to look at that business's social media sites. You want to go to that business and observe how they interact with their customers, how the employees interact with each other, and then you're just going to analyze their communication with customers and within the company. So what you're going to do is you're going to write a paper addressing these questions right here. If you can address these questions and give examples and be specific about what you observe, you will fulfill the assignment requirements. And so you will write a 2 to 3 page paper discussing your findings. I know that sounds like a lot, but this is supposed to be double spaced, 12-point font, 1-inch margins, and no heading except your name. So I don't want your name and then double space, and then my name and then double space, and then the date and double space. I know what you're doing when you're doing that. And so just your name, if you want to do the title of the paper, that's fine, and then just start typing. So 2 to 3 pages for this particular paper. So as you're writing, you want to start off with a little introduction. On such and such day, I visited this business and observed the following, and you want to just start off. What strategies does the business use to make their company return? You want to discuss that in your paper. Are they successful in their communication? Have a section on that in your paper. How are the employees treated? You can hopefully observe some of that and talk about it. Are there any improvements this business can make in terms of their communication practices? And give some legitimate feedback. The businesses are never going to see this, so be honest about it. And then, can this business serve as a corporate communication model? Basically, that means, can we take this model that they have for communicating with their customers and apply it to another business and the other business be successful? And so that's what that means. Now, I once again, I do not want, you know, I'm going to write the question and then I'm going to write the answer. Then I'm going to write the question and write the answer. I want an essay style paper. If you answer these questions, you talk about these concepts with examples in the paper, you will make 2 to 3 pages once it's double spaced. Now your page is going to look a little different from mine. Up here you're going to have a submit button where you upload the paper. So you just hit submit and upload the paper in Word or PDF. I don't accept any of the formats. I can't open any other formats, and so if you don't submit in Word or PDF and I have to ask you to resubmit it, I'm going to take 20 points off your grade. So just make sure that you have the right programs to complete this assignment. All right, if you have any questions, concerns, then definitely come by and see me in my office or message me on inbox. We're going to hear all those informative speeches next Tuesday in class. And so on top of practicing for that, you need to do this week's modules. And so one more thing, you should have in week 3 module, exam 1. I want to talk about this just briefly. Exam 1 is over chapters, let's just open it up. It's over chapters 1, 2, 3, 11, and 12. It's timed, so you need to study. There's 50 multiple choice and true-false questions. You will not have time to look up each individual question. You have 65 minutes. So get somewhere where there's a good connection, where you have plenty of time to take it, when there's no distractions, and take the exam before next week. You'll also notice that in week 3 module, there's this online experience survey This is a page just describing it, but here's where you would actually click to take the survey. This is a survey that TJC wants you to do, and since they want students to complete it, I give credit for students who do complete it. And so it is a grade. It's 100 points, and so you definitely want to make sure that you take time to take that survey. If you click on this page and get to the link and it doesn't work, check your email. There will be an email with the same survey from a lady named Charlie Rees, R-E-E-S, and you can take the survey through your email. She'll provide you a link there. I think that's it, covering week 3 online stuff. So make sure that you get all of this done, and once again, if I can help in any way, you know how to find me. Thanks.